I felt like first set I didn't play bad, but I was rushing a little bit, and I was missing by like 10, 15 centimeters, not so much. But the main thing, I was staying aggressive and playing my game, and I started to feel much better my game in the end of the second set, and especially in the third set.
Okay, congratulations once
Thank
again.
you.
Questions, name and affiliation. Willie, why don't you start us off?
Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. You now have a chance to reach the semifinals for the first time in 5 years. How is your perspective different today on going deep in majors than it was 5, 6 years ago?
I mean, I was just practicing really hard before US Swing and also before here, and I felt like I was playing a lot of tournaments quite well, but some moments here and there were not working, and I still kept trying and kept working, and I feel like now it's my game is getting back in place, and I'm playing more free in a good way and not thinking too much. So yeah, I'm just really glad with the win today.
And what are your thoughts on facing Coco?
I mean, of course, it's going to be a very tough match. She's a great young player, and I played her in Australia. It was a great match, but I will try to focus more on myself and just enjoy it. I mean, it's great to be in quarterfinals, especially here in New York. It's a great vibe.
Yeah. Ava?
Obviously, congratulations. You obviously have a
Can
good
you
history.
a bit more loud?
Yes. You obviously have a really good history against Iga. How much was that on your mind going into this match, and as it kind of wound on?
I mean, I knew she's a great player and she's very, very consistent, especially the last few years. But I also knew she will have all the pressure because she's obviously number one. And I think if she lost today against me, she loses the number one spot. So I was just trying to make it hard for her and to play my game and to fight until the very last point. I knew there will be moments when I have chances, and I waited for them. Even in the second set, it was 4-1, then 4-3, a little bit tricky, but I was still playing. And I was fighting, and yeah, I think I dominated in the end of the match.
Okay. Court?
Jelena, congratulations. What is it about the big stage, the big players? You always seem to find yourself playing your best, when the spotlight is on you. What do you think it is about that?
I mean, I just honestly love to play on big courts with full stadiums and a lot of crowd. It's really the thing that we're working for and playing for. I think it's a great atmosphere, and yeah, I mean, I had nothing to lose today, and I knew it's going to be a very, very tough match. I was ready for a battle, and yeah, I'm really glad. Even the first set, I couldn't find my game that well, but I was fighting and trying to find my game and to be aggressive, and in the end, I managed to win the match.
Go ahead.
And on Iga's game, did you see anything different in terms of how you remember her playing, Dubai last year or something like that? Was there anything that you saw that was different that you had to adjust to?
I mean, for sure, she was more consistent, but I saw all the matches that we played, of course, before the match today, and I was analyzing the game, and I pretty much knew what to do against her. The thing was that, as I said, first set I was missing a little bit here and there, and the set went not my way, but at the end I managed to win it, and I actually didn't have that many unforced errors today, so pretty happy with that.
Andrew?
Andrew Jones, ESPN Landscape. Jelena, we talked about the matchup here, and we talked about the first strike that makes her uncomfortable, not only against you, but against Rybakina, Sabalenka, Garcia, Krejcikova. And you just talk about how comfortable you are, even with her serving that big, that she's still hitting to your body, and how you're just able just to read her strokes like that.
I mean, yeah, a lot of times she was serving in my body. Obviously, of course, I realized it during the match and I was ready for it. But, I mean, she improved her serve. It's much stronger now. But, I mean, as I said, I was ready for this, and I think I'm returning pretty well, so that's not a big problem for me. But, yeah, I think the main thing is that she doesn't really like to play against big hitters. As I said, you mentioned those three girls and me, and she likes to have some time, and when I play fast, aggressive, and powerful, she's a little bit in trouble.
Can you talk about the Latvian support not only up there, but also the train next to your coach in that whole story, or what's that relationship like in terms of who he is and how that dynamic was?
I mean, my team is really amazing, and they were supporting me so much, and all of them are very special for me, and yeah, they were believing in me all match, and I'm really grateful to have them here.
Adeshina Koike, USOpen.org, a lot of sports talk. Congratulations on the win. As you mentioned, only 20 unforced errors in the match. There were times where when you did make an error, you kind of looked at your team and was a little frustrated. What was the difference in this match today in terms of regaining your composure when you make those errors compared to other matches where you've made those errors and things haven't gone your way?
It's not bad stats comparing to 18 first errors in a winning match. I mean, I'm improving probably round by round, but yeah, I mean, even as I said, first set, I couldn't really find my game that well, but honestly, it's a good stats, and the main thing, again, I was trying to go for the shots, and maybe today I was, in the second and third set, I was a little bit more consistent and didn't go for like crazy shots. I was going for the shots when I had a chance for doing that. Yeah, and I think it was working pretty well.
Okay, Tamani.
Tamani from The Guardian. You served really well today. She's obviously a great returner, and you kind of kept her away from your second serve. Just how pleased were you of that, and what is the work that's gone into it? How much work has gone into like improving your serve?
Can you talk a little louder?
You served really well today. Just how pleased were you with that aspect of your game, and how much work has gone into improving your serve?
Yeah, I mean, I was, of course, working a lot on my serve, but it's completely different serving in the matches and serving at practice. You can serve unbelievable in the practice, but then you go on court and you have a little pressure and you completely serve different way. But yeah, honestly, today, I think the only game I didn't serve well was in the first set when I broke her serve first game, and then in the third set when I was 5-0 up, but I still knew I will have like more chances because I was obviously 5-0 up. So yeah, but in general I was really happy with the percentage of my serve and the way it was working today.
Okay, Meredith.
And also,
Go ahead.
you mentioned that you hit 80 unforced errors in your previous match against Evanesyan. Just how different do you feel like in that match compared to in this match? Like, how different is that feeling?
I mean, it's so much different because obviously, like top players, you see how they play and you know them very well. But those girls, you don't really know well, and they are very new to the tour. So, of course, you see some highlights how they play, some matches you analyze, but still you don't see them that often. So, like maybe first few times it's more difficult to play against them because you don't really see their game that much. So you kind of don't know what to expect. But as I said, first few matches at the Grand Slams, they're probably the trickiest ones. And yeah, I feel like round by round, I start to play better.
Okay, a couple more. Meredith.
Meredith Cash from Insider. You spoke about how all of the pressure was on Iga and you felt like you had nothing to lose tonight. Do you feel that same way going in against Coco? And how do you feel about facing the American who arguably draws like the biggest crowds here in New York, in the biggest arena in tennis?
I mean, that's what it is. She's playing at home, and I mean, it's normal, and the crowd is gonna be for sure like supporting her a lot. But I think that's fine because she's playing at home, and of course it's gonna be a tough match. But I'm gonna again, as I said, try to focus more on myself and on my game, recover today, tomorrow, practice, and just be ready for the next one.
Tomek Moczerniuk, Polish press agency. I apologize if I'm a little bit upset because you ousted our champion. And now we're going to be rooting for you. Let the title stay in Eastern Europe. Two-way question. First one, what did you think about that first set that you lost? How were you able to regroup? And second one, does winning by way of a comeback makes it even more special? Thank you.
First set, I felt like I was really ready into the match, and sometimes when you want to win like so much, you go on the court and you kind of try to play really well, but then something doesn't go your way and you get a little bit upset. But of course, as I said, she was playing really well, so I didn't play against her for, I think, a few years, maybe a year and a half, so I needed a little bit time to adapt and see how she improved and what she did. And yeah, there were some key moments in the second set, and when I won it, I felt like, especially the first game in the third set when I broke her, I felt like it's going more my way, and I started to feel my game better. And I put her under the pressure, of course, because I was hitting quite many winners, and she didn't like the power I was giving her because she needed some time to play. But as I said, she's a great player, and it's also not easy for her to play again under such a big pressure. Especially she had to win to stay number one, and yeah, it's never easy to be as a favorite. But she's a great player.
Willie, last question, please.
How would you describe your journey from when you were a major champion yourself until today?
I mean, when I won Grand Slam, I said it already many times, my whole life changed and I needed time to adapt to all that. It's not easy because I was at that time 19 years old and turning 20, and I was expecting that I can win a Grand Slam, but not at such an early age. And of course, it's really difficult to get used to all this attention, pressure. Everybody expects you to win every single match, every single tournament, but this is not possible because you're human and you cannot win every single match. So I needed a little bit time, and I think it took me a little while to get used to that. And I feel now I'm more mature, and again I start to feel in a good way more loosened when I play. I don't think too much, and I just enjoy it.